Okay, hey guys. I know, second video in that many days. Hopefully I'll be able to do one tomorrow also. Like I said, I'll have much more time on my hands. Let's get into it. Chapter 17. Partners in Crime. Squeak! Brush, brush. Squeak! Brush. The sounds were soft and distant, but they were there, all right. If either he or Catherine had been talking, as they had been the first third of the way back, there would have been no way he would have heard them. But ever since they had fallen silent in individual introspection, the sounds had played at the threshold of Derek's hearing. At first he thought them echoes of their own footsteps, or merely the product of paranoia. But as they were passing into subsection 51, Derek decided they were real, not imaginary. Something was following them. "Don't say anything and don't turn around," Derek whispered. "You hold both lamps. Keep walking." "What?" "Shh! Keep walking. Keep the beams angled down so you won't be silhouetted. Try to make it look like you're two people." "What's this about?" she demanded, but she contained her curiosity to a whisper and kept walking as he had asked. Handing the torch to her at arm's length, Derek slipped away into the darkness and squeezed back against the wall. As he waited, he wondered who he was waiting for. One of Dr. Gowon's robots? One of Jacobson's? Or Animus? He wished he still had the gas aerosol, or had kept his torch to use as a club. Having to do it on your own, he told himself, dropping to his knees and huddling against the base of the wall. The shadow was past Derek before he even saw it. Only when he looked back toward Catherine and caught a glimpse of it silhouetted against the glow of her torch did he move. Gathering himself up, he took 3 running steps and launched himself at the figure's leg. He struck cloth and bone, not skin and metal, and the stranger came down in a heap on top of Derek, squealing in protest. They wrestled furiously in the darkness, each with different objectives. Derek was trying to get a firm grip on an arm, leg, or neck, and pin the other to the floor. His adversary was trying only to break Derek's grip and escape. Derek was much more skilled. He had no difficulty getting what he thought were 2 solid holds on the other. The difficulty was in maintaining them for more than a few seconds. Had they been wrestling in competition, he would have been getting the takedowns, his opponent the escape points. Part of the reason was the other's compact strength, and the part of the slippery fabric its clothes were made out of. But in the dark, luck counted for more than skill or strength, and neutralized both. The 2 combatants rolled from one side of the passageway to the other, neither able to gain a lasting advantage. Then, with a sudden twist and lucky grab, Derek found himself on top, straddling the other's waist and with each of his hands locked in an iron grip on one of his opponent's wrists. Just then, Catherine shone one of the lamps full on the shadow's face. His adversary squinted up at him out of his eyes, nearly hidden by molted gold and brown fur, and his mouth twisted into a familiar grimace. "Woolruff!" Derek exclaimed. "You're stronger than you look, Derek," Woolruff said, still grinning, "but I 'ope you know I let you win." Derek grinned back. "As ugly as you are, I'm awfully glad to see you. I was afraid we'd lost you when we were cut loose." "Why are you treating it like some long-lost friend?" Catherine demanded. "It's our Aunt Mrs. Fetchboy." "Girl," he corrected. "Besides, you don't understand," he added, helping Woolruff to her feet. "She's my friend." "Partners," Woolruff said proudly. "Oh, then why was it skulking along behind us like that?" "Following," Woolruff said. "What were you planning to do?" "I never 'urt you. You were waiting for us to find the key, weren't you? And then you were going to steal it. Catherine, she's sick," Derek said suddenly. "What?" "Look at her," he urged. "Look at me." "Look at her," he urged. "Look at me," he added, reclaiming his torch and turning its beam on himself. His clothing was covered with long gold and brown furs. In the light of Catherine's torch, the alien's fur was so thin in patches that Derek could see the pale, leathery skin beneath. And there was something about Woolruff's eyes that telegraphed the distress she had been enduring. "What's wrong with you?" Catherine asked, a faint note of suspicion tainting her concern. "'Ungry," she said simply. Of course, Derek said, she's starving. There isn't even any food she could steal here. Catherine squinted at the alien through narrow, slit-like eyes. Is that why you're following us? Not to get the key, but to find out where we're getting our food? I don't care about the jewel, Bolorov said. Just hungry. I'd follow the robots to look for food. I followed them everywhere and never smell food. You don't like the robots, do you? It isn't just Alpha, Derek said. Brood Captain tell me 100 times never trust strange animal until you've seen its meal table, she said weakly. It sounded like an attempt at a joke. And robots never eat, Derek completed. Well, we'll get you something. I hope we can get you something. Can you eat what we eat? Just hold on, Catherine interrupted. You're on the ship with us the whole time, and you've been hiding out ever since? I was coming through interlock. Alpha 2 when we heard the bomb go off, Bolorov said. Noise bring other Irani. Control's dead, and you're not much better, so I got us loose. When robots come, I hide. When ship dock, I slip out. Been hiding ever since. Where's our animus? I don't know. Left behind. Bolorov was noticeably unsteady on her feet. We can sort the rest of this out later, Derek said sharply. We've got to get her something, quickly. Not so quickly, Catherine said, stepping closer. Where have you been hiding? Here in the dark sections? Mostly. No robots here. I like the dark better than I like robots. How much of the dark sections have you been through looking for food? Lots, Bolorov said, but the jewel's not here, if that's what you're wondering. How do you know? Catherine demanded. Because you put it somewhere else? I don't want jewel. Just trouble for everyone, Bolorov said, but I know where it is. Derek impulsively grabbed the alien by both cheeks and planted a kiss on her forehead. All right, he declared. We're in business. Catherine held her enthusiasm in check. How do you know? She repeated. I follow when they took it from ship. I think they take it to humans. Humans have food. Wrong. Robots take it where there are lots of robots. No humans, no food. I almost got caught. Do you remember exactly where? Can you take us there? Catherine asked. That robot your servants, Bolorov said, wrinkling her face in puzzlement. Why not just ask him to bring it to you? Never mind about that, Derek said gently. Answer Catherine's questions. Do you remember the way? Can you take us there? I remember. Always. So I can take you. Don't want to. Don't want key. Don't want to see robots or robots see me. But you be my friend and feed me, and I be your friend and show you. Okay? Derek looked at Catherine. I'm taking her to find some food, he said. If you don't like it, you're welcome to go solo from here on. Oh, no, you don't, she said quickly. You can't get rid of me that easily. Come on, then, he said as he started brushing futilely at the fur clinging to his clothing. He looked back to Woolruff and smiled. Let's see if we can get you some food before I choke to death on your dander. They ended up returning to the hospital, both because it was relatively close and because it was one of the few facilities they knew anything about. Catherine entered first, demanding care and attention as they swept through the ICU, and making sure to gather up both Dr. Gallen and Florence along the way. A minute later, Derek and Woolrose slipped inside and headed in the other direction, toward the kitchen. Meat, breads, vegetables, what's best for you? Derek said, scanning the menu of the auto gallery. Plants, Woolrose said, crouching. Something to work my teeth on. Everything's synthetic, I'm afraid. The farm is one of the things they closed down. Let's see. I think they make the apple wedges with a lot of fiber. Don't you know what you're going to do with the key when you find it? Woolruff asked from behind. No. Dirk turned around and presented the alien with a white tray filled with pale yellow, pulpy slices of apple. With surprising patience, Woolruff selected a wedge, snipped it expertly, then balanced it on her narrow tongue and delicately took it into her mouth. As far as Dirk could tell, she did not chew it, but swallowed it whole. That created a minor paradox. The Woolruff did not appear to be eating quickly. The plate rapidly emptied. She ate as though she were trying to make up for all 7 weeks of deprivation at one sitting, and yet was scrumptiously neat and almost completely silent. There none of the wet crunching noise that any human trying to keep pace would have made. I wouldn't be surprised if she finds our eating habits repulsive, he thought as he watched her. When the tray was empty, Woodruff offered up the hopeful look. I guess you can trust me now, right? She said. Except I'm not the one you have to win over, he said, taking the tray and turning back to the auto gallery for a refill. Catherine is. Which reminds me, why didn't you tell me she was on board? Bullruff shrugged. No chance to. Always something apprehend- apprehending. Somebody tripping. That's true enough, Derek said, surrendering the replenished tray. The questions I've been wanting to ask you since that first night, and I haven't gotten a chance to. Ask, Woodruff said, then rolled her tongue for another bite. Derek considered a moment. This one isn't important to anyone but me. You didn't know I was on that asteroid, did you? Not until Gunner spot you. Then you were robot, which is why you didn't fire at me. I ran Mrs. orders not perfectly followed. You mean the robot that was with me that was the self-destruct? Fine distinctions escape but enemies. Ask Governor who hit him. Did you know the key was on the asteroid? Not twice. That's what I thought. But then why were you there? Was it just dumb luck that you showed up? Purpose, not luck. A randomist spilled very fine star glass. Saw asteroid being made and became very curious. Say that again? I didn't catch your meaning. She cupped her hands and made motions like forming a snowball. With star glass. A randomist watched the asteroid making. Was very curious. Not something a Rani ever do. You do it often? No. Derek's head still blinking in surprise. An artificial world. It was remotely possible. Use a small fleet of haulers to bring in the raw material. Maybe just smaller planetoids brought in from the nearest dirty system. Drive the pieces together just the right speed and fuse them into a larger body. But why? The answer came to him almost immediately. To hide the key. To bury it away where no one would ever find it. As though it was as dangerous as the chaos of the plutonium waste. Buried cleverly. Not the heart of the asteroid where the first shaft sunk would uncover, but tucked invisibly under the surface. Except that someone saw or found out and sent robots to retrieve it. Are you sure about this? Jack demanded. Sure, I ran the miss so it's all. Very good start, Gus. She offered up the empty tray hopefully. Then we're over our heads, Derek thought as he turned back to the auto gallery. Way over. Buller was finishing her third helping when Catherine joined them. She had drawn on station supply for a long-sleeved blouse to wear over the jumpsuit, and traded the foot pillows for soft-soled shoes. I sent Florence on an errand and gave Dr. Gallen a task that should keep him out of the lobby for at least half an hour, she said. And I made Dr. Gallen fit me with a loaded muddy pump just in case it's not convenient to come back. Though my skin really doesn't feel too bad. Are you two almost ready? Woolruff made the last two wedges disappear. I am. Then it's time to pay the bill for the meal, Catherine said, proclaiming the empty plate. Let's go look at the map. They stood elbow to elbow in the deserted lobby, Woolruff in the middle. Here's where we're at, Catherine said, pointing. And here's about the spot you and Derek went to the mat. All you have to do now is tell us where the key is, and we'll go get it. You can go back to the dark and never have to see another robot. But Woolruff was unable to understand the map in any of its mode or projections, even though both Derek and Catherine made labored efforts to try to explain it. I know it's in my feet and my nose, Woolruff said. I'd go with you and show you. Catherine frowned and looked at Derek. How are we going to smuggle her through the halls? It was risky enough bringing her here, and she said she almost got caught the first time. I was thinking while we were walking that a place this large probably used to have some kind of personal transport. Jitneys, she said. That's the word. An image of a three-wheeled utility vehicle snapped into focus in his mind. In automatic mode, they were essentially wheeled robots. In semi-auto, they served as smart taxis for visitors to the station. But in manual mode, they should offer freedom from the central service control and privacy from security curiosity. The robots don't need them, but I'll bet they're all lined up somewhere ready to rule. Would the robots think it's unusual, seeing one out on the streets? I don't think so, Derek said. When a ship's in port, the crew probably uses them, and seeing one of the carts won't strike them as any more strange than our presence alone would. Robots notice people. It's the way they're made, but we don't need to be invisible. We just need to be left alone. What do you say? Catherine pursed her lips and considered. I think if we don't find any jitneys, it doesn't matter what I think. Okay, that's the end of chapter 17. Yeah. Uh, See you next time. I'll do chapter 18. And, yep.